Greetings, programs. Today I'm going to be bringing you something a little different. As most of you know, the recent trailer for Captain America Civil War surfaced on the internet. When I saw this, I was uber excited. Not only because of what was in the trailer and the movie, but also because of the character that made an unexpected appearance at the end. And if you see the trailer, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, go watch the trailer. What are you doing? So, as soon as I saw this trailer, I got so excited. Honestly, I proceeded, right after to run around in circles screaming because I'm honestly a huge Spider-Man fanatic. So, I was so excited I decided that 1, I had to go to the opening of this movie. 2, I had to get a Spider-Man costume to do it in. And I did. I looked online, the one I was trying to get wasn't really, it was never available anywhere. So I had to go to the next level up, which was honestly very worth it in my opinion. So today, we're going to be looking at The Amazing Spider-Man 2 Theatrical Quality Costume. Now, I know, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 really wasn't the best movie, and in all honesty, it was actually kind of terrible. But IMO, one of its redeeming qualities was how cool the suit looked. It was so, whereas the first Amazing Spider-Man, it was very weird and rubbery, and I don't know why I want to say graffiti-esque as far as, design. It was just, I liked it personally. I did. But I liked the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit even better. So, However, the unfortunate problem with this is this suit is no longer made. It was discontinued about a year ago or something, I don't know. Whenever, after Spider-Man 2 came out, obviously. Or Amazing Spider-Man 2. So, since it's no longer discontinued, it's kind of hard to come by. Fortunately, I was able to find it on eBay. I also found it from the same seller on Amazon. But the price was a little meh. It ended up costing me about $300. Not about, basically exactly. It was $299.98. Holy cow. That's a huge price. And it really is. But if you have the money, go for it. If you have more money, you might want to get one of the higher because that's a word now. Higher dollar quality suits that, you get that are like super replicas or whatever. So, I would go with that. But if you have the money and you're sort of on a budget, but not really, this is the suit to go with. I bought it. It's great. However, since it was discontinued, I would recommend getting it as soon as you can. And the sizes are weird. The suit comes in 3 sizes. Medium, XL, and XXL. The XL is really more or less the standard size. So it's more like a regular, larger medium. So that means the medium in the suit is more or less the small, which I'm 5'4" and weigh 144 pounds, so obviously I went with the medium. It fits pretty well, but we'll get into that in a minute. So, sizes are tricky, especially when you're trying to buy it online. If your size is out of stock, I'm sorry, you're probably out of luck, because they're not going to be restocked or anything like that. But, that is what it is. But anyway, let's actually have a look at the suit. Here you have the Amazing Spider-Man 2 Theatrical Costume in its packaging. I apologize for the glare. My setup's not the best, but it does work. In the middle is this card, which basically goes over all the info and everything in the suit. Or everything you get with this. Up at the top, you get the title Amazing Spider-Man 2 in its theatrical title font, while in the middle you get a picture of the costume itself. To the right, you have the Disguise logo, size 38 through 40 medium, Theatrical Quality Adult Costume, and some sizing information, along with a barcode. Also, you get a picture of the back spider. Moving to the right side, you have a picture of the mask, signifying that it does have molded eyes, a description of what the package includes, the Marvel logo, legal information, and a list of the suit's features. In the middle, also under the picture of the costume, you have a bunch of information on tips on how to manage it and take care of it. The packaging is opened by snapping these two buttons at the top. After that, flip it over and unzip this zipper on the back. After it's unzipped and unbuttoned, take the hanger and pass it through the gap in between the plastic. From here, the costume can be removed, as well as the mask. As you can see, here's the suit out of its packaging, and also, as you can see, it looks pretty much perfect. Taking a look at the mask, you can see it looks really well. The red section, which is basically the entire mask, has a red brick pattern sewn into the fabric, which makes it accurate to the screen-use suit. Also, it has a raised webbing design, and while it's not easily picked up on camera, it is there. However, due to the 3D webbing being printed on the suit, it is rather fragile and can rip rather easily when not taken care of properly. As the info card stated, the lenses are molded and attached to the mask, also being attached in the middle with a bridge, almost like a pair of glasses. This ensures that they stay stable and don't sit unevenly on your face. The lenses themselves are made of a clear plastic with a white honeycomb design traced along the length of the plastic. This offers great visibility, but unfortunately detracts from the overall white shading of the lenses themselves. As you can see, the mask also includes nose holes, which can be easily covered up by inserting a red piece of fabric, preferably the same color, underneath the mask. Taking a longer look at the mask, you can see that it is pretty lengthy, so it should be able to fit under your costume and stay there fairly well. Well, that's it for the mask. Let's move on to the suit. Here you have the actual suit. Much like the mask, the red portions do feature the brick pattern as well as the raised webbing. The blue sections are a bit darker than they should be, but also feature the same brick pattern and are made of more spandex than the red. This ensures that flexibility is remained intact while not having the fear possibly ripping the suit. The red belt does go all the way around to the back to the zipper, and we'll take a look at that in a second. Moving to the arms, you can see on the hands there are details of little fingertips or finger pads, or whatever you want to call them, as well as web shooter buttons. They also feature web shooters, which are made out of a sort of soft rubber. Not incredibly soft, but they're soft-ish, sort of. You get the idea. The web shooter and all the other details are present on the other hand. And moving down to the feet, you can see that they look rather shapeless currently. The feet are not form-fitting, but however, they are fully closed in the bottom. And you can see that the bottom of the feet have little rubber grips, almost like a pair of slippers. So, if you're walking around, you won't slide all over the place. However, they are loose-fitting because you're typically supposed to wear shoes inside the costume. However, that can be a little inconvenient, and I can understand the desire to attach rubber soles from a shoe to the bottom of the feet. That's it. Looking at the chest spider emblem, it is embossed with a sort of gel, or not sort of, but it is a gel. Most people misconceive it to be rubber, but it's a really shiny gel. However, the unfortunate thing about this is it easily attracts dirt and dust and hair and whatever can get stuck on gel. But all you need to do, take a wet paper towel, wipe it off, you're good. Looking at the back of the suit, you can tell it looks much like the front, which, of course, it's a Spider-Man costume. The zipper starts here on the bottom and runs the length of the back through the spider all the way up to the neck. The spider on the back is also embossed, but with rubber rather than gel. While it can't be seen at the moment, the zipper track is blue, while the zipper itself is also blue. Overall, as far as detail, it looks fantastic. I do, however, have a few gripes with it, however. For example, the chest logo is really shiny and not matted down like it would be in the movie. Also, the webbing is not black like it would be in the movie, and the chest logo is actually higher up and bigger than it should be. Web shooter buttons are a little misplaced, as they should be more towards the palm of the hand. Web shooters are also a little misplaced, as they sit too far to the right on the wrist. The back spider is also inaccurate, not only in size, but also shape. It looks different in the movie and is more wide and basically just, more centered on the suit. It's also a tad bit bigger. As previously mentioned before, the webbing is rather fragile, and it sort of creates a problem because I'm always fearing that perhaps it can rip and fall off. However, a solution to this, if the wearer so desires, they can take black puff paint and gently go over all of the webbing. This can take a lot of time, however, but it should, provide better webbing, better support for the webbing, and also bring it out a little more, as the current color of the webbing can make it hard to see in certain lighting. Going back to the back spider emblem, it's also tricky to get the zipper through the actual spider itself, given that it is a really sort of thick rubber. It doesn't flex very well, and it's sort of static, so it makes getting the zipper through really hard, which makes it a challenge when you're putting it on yourself. However, these are just faults that I've seen, and are really more of minute, minuscule nitpicks that I have with the suit itself, and not actually problems that, detract from functionality or overall appearance, because even with these faults, the suit still looks amazing. It looks fantastic. So, as you saw, it actually looks really good. The pattern is well, the detailing is well done, the colors are pretty good. They come out a little different on the camera, but it's not really a bright red. It's more of a maroon and like a navy blue, whereas the blue sections look black on the camera, but that's probably just lighting. Like I said, it's not the best setup, but it's what I have to work with, so that's what it's going to be. So, and I know I picked out a bunch of flaws and faults, but those are just faults that I've seen. But they're faults, The front spider, the back spider, the web shooters being mislocated, the buttons being mislocated, the webbing being fragile or whatever, which is honestly easily fixed. It's all just, those are my faults. And faults that I've seen. But they're faults. They're not necessarily flaws. Because I actually really like it the way it is. I like the back spider look on this one better than the actual movie. I like the chest spider being higher up. So, they're all just, like I said, they're minute, minuscule nitpicks, and just things that I've noticed that are inaccurate to the actual movie suit. So now that you've seen it up close and personal with shaky hands, and hopefully in decent resolution so you guys can pick up detail, let's see what it looks like when it's actually on a person. On the roost! Hey everyone. Alright, so this is what the suit looks like when it's on. It's a little, it fits decently well. Like I said, I'm 5'4", I weigh 144 pounds. This is the medium. It doesn't fit the greatest, but it does fit. For what it is, it's form-fitting. The only gripe I really have are the fingers. So that's just, but that honestly doesn't bother me. They're really long. I don't know if you can see that. But, this is what it looks like. The neck is really high up, which I like. It's better for like an unmasked Peter Parker look, whereas some of them, I know they've been a lot lower, so it's like you wouldn't have the mask on or anything, and it would just be like this, it'd be really low. And that's also a problem because when you're wearing the mask, you tuck it in, so if it's, lower, it's not going to be held as tightly across, your neck or whatever. But, that's just how it's been for me. And I've seen other reviews where suits are lower and they don't hold the mask quite as well. Speaking of the mask, let's get to the mask. Here's the mask. It's pretty masky. It's really kind of stupid, but I'll show you guys. Let's go ahead and throw this on. It's a little hard. The mask is very form-fitting, very tight. I don't know if you can see nose holes stretching out there, but not really a problem. I'll get my fabric or whatever, cover them up at some point. Making sure it's... All the adjusting you do on the mask is typically what tends to rip the webbing I've seen on other reviews. But this is how the suit looks all together. I'll stand back here. You guys can see the back spider. It does hide the zipper fairly well. Obviously you can still see it, but it isn't too bad. I don't have a face shell or anything like that. I won't have a face shell or anything like that. And I know a lot of people do that, but I like the detached mask. I don't like, having a hood to be the mask. I like having the detached mask, so that way I can do a Peter Parker look. I can have it off. I can take it off with whatever I'm doing. And I don't have to worry about all the complications of like a face shell or having a zipper or anything like that. The lenses, because they are very clear plastic, they do fog up. Just a little bit though, as I've seen, it is a little tricky to breathe even with the nose holes because they don't line up very well, which is another reason why they kind of suck. If they did, they'd probably blend in better, but they really kind of don't. So that's that. On the other scheme of things, it's just weird because it makes everything look a little blurry. But that's not too much of a problem. It doesn't really reduce visibility. It's just you can still make out shapes and things, but they look a little blurrier. But you can still make out that they're there or whatever. But I'll give you guys another look at the Ford suit. It's got great flexibility. Like, oh my gosh, I didn't expect this much flexibility. The only problem I have is bending over the zipper. Since it's static, it feels like, it can possibly rip. I doubt that it would though, but I don't want to take any chances, so I'm very careful when I bend over to do something. I'm sorry if you hear my deep breath breathing, but it's just because it's really hard. The feet, I don't know if you can, I can't hold my feet up that long, but they are a little floppy. Like I said, they're a little baggy because, you're supposed to be wearing shoes inside of them. But, that's really the gist of it. This is what it looks like. If you like it, you dig it, you want it, you got $300 to spend on it, spend the money on it. Splurge. Do whatever you want. Maybe your mom didn't tell you, but you want to anyway because you're Spider-Man. Or for whatever reason, but, if you have $300, you like it, you want to be Spider-Man, want to wear something in the Civil War, maybe, I don't know, buy it. Tell them Spider-Man told you to, because I'm Spider-Man. I don't care. I don't shoot webs. Not really, but I look the part, so I might as well be. Anyway, that pretty much does it for all of this. I hope you guys actually enjoyed watching this. I hope it wasn't a little too shaky or whatever. And I know this was something different. Skating stuff is coming. I know I've made those promises like 1,000 times to my subscribers, and I'm sorry to the 13 of you that I have. But I am not only going to do skating stuff, I'll have a video explaining that or whatever. But that's about it for this. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe, do whatever. I don't know why I'm dancing around like super, I don't know. My lenses are getting really fogged up, holy cow. But, so yeah, do whatever you want. It's a great suit, I dig it. Totally worth $300. Okay, maybe $250, but might as well, right? But yeah, if you like it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I don't have an outro. I never do, ever. Maybe that's just going to be my outro, not having an outro. I know a lot of other people have something like subscriber guide or, something weird, or see you guys in the future, or this, or that, or whatever. I don't know. Maybe something Spider-Man related. I'll come up with it later. I don't know. But, I am going to do more cosplay reviews. Got the Doctor coming on the way. Sort of. It's a low-key Doctor cosplay, but it works. So, if you guys want to see that, subscribe, stay tuned, do whatever. I don't know. I don't have to tell you what to do. This is a free country. Do whatever you want. Go down to the gas station. Pick yourself off the chocolate milk. Then watch your, uncle get shot. But that's a totally different story. Anyway, I will see you guys later.